ladies and gentlemen. All right, that was it for our intro song. So, Josh, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
Good. Thank you for asking. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I know it's never easy to stop what you're doing over there. You're working really hard on your classwork. And I had to interrupt you today to talk about the every 15-minute project. Man, isn't it crazy that it's behind us now, that all that work and all that preparation that we went through, it's now behind us?
Yeah, it was kind of hard at first, but I mean, we adapted to it.
Yeah, it's just one of those projects that, for those of you guys that don't know what the Every 15 Minutes project is, my video production class was commissioned by our great principal, Mr. Hess, to participate in the filming of a 2-day event called the Every 15 Minute program. And this program is targeted to juniors and seniors so that they can make better choices with drinking and driving, drugs and alcohol, and so that they think twice before getting in that car under the influence and driving away. And today with me, I've got Josh. Joshua was, I hired him to be one of our audio technicians. So his job was Josh, why don't you tell us about what was your job when I approached you for this?
So first, he wanted me to pick a selective amount of audio that I could put into the video that we can use during the video.
So that was audio as far as
music, sound effects, ambience.
There you go. So what Joshua was doing is I hired him to be our sound designer. So a sound designer is in charge of everything that's being heard in the scene and also what is not being heard, which is very important, right? So he downloaded some great songs, which we'll get into in a second. The sound effects, like he said, the footsteps, the car crashes, the 911 calls, and then also the ambient sounds. So yeah, Josh, had you ever done anything like this before in the past?
No, never, and I didn't really expect to.
Did you know what a sound designer was?
No, but I could probably put it together.
Yeah, I to be honest, guys, I threw Josh in there. It's like I always say in my program, how do you learn how to swim? You get thrown in the pool, right? Of course, we could sit there and say, Josh, you look up for air, you paddle, and you just remember to always look up for air. You could do that, yeah, but also just throw Josh in the pool. Let him figure it out. He's not going to drown. Josh is a smart kid. And that's exactly what I did for this project. I went around the room. I figured out who wasn't doing anything or who had some good strengths and places, and I saw Josh as somebody that could figure things out for himself. Josh, so tell me, what was the experience like being the sound designer?
At first, I thought it was going to be easy, but as I went on, it was a lot harder to find the sounds that I really wanted to have in the video, or the music was really hard to find, especially there was way more sad songs that I could choose from compared to upbeat, happy songs.
Yeah. So let's talk about just the music itself. So what was so hard about it?
Just finding what could fit the teenage life or teenage movie.
Yeah, right. So one of the things that I threw at Josh was we cannot use copywritten material. This is a video production class, so we have to respect the copyright policies of the United States of America. And with that being said, I told Josh, we cannot use copywritten material. So we have this website. It's called videoblocks.com, where they've curated songs that we are allowed to use, that the artists have given us permission. And one of the issues with that is the videos that were done in the past for our school by video production companies, they used copywritten material before. And because of that, YouTube took them down. As you know, you cannot just use anybody's song. You have to get permission for that. There's rules, there's policies that you have to follow. And this production company, they took our money, but they broke some of those copyright laws. And now anything that's up on YouTube that uses a Kanye West song, it can't be shown, it can't be viewed unless you have written permission by Mr. West. And that's not what happened, right? So a lot of the videos that we wanted to use as reference of what they did in the past for Los Altos, we could not find. So I had to point Josh, and as a matter of fact, it wasn't even me. One day I just happened to look over at Josh, and I was really surprised that Josh took it upon himself to do what, Josh? What were you doing when I saw you doing your research?
First I started just like looking at other every 15-minute videos. It really helped finding audios that other people used.
That's right. It's exactly what it was. I just happened to look over at Josh, and Josh was already looking at other people's work, what other companies have done. And he had 3 or 4 videos in front of him, and he was just going through each one, just picking out the right songs and seeing if he could match that song with the website that we were using. And that really blew me away. I was like, why didn't I think of that? Because there I was for 2 days prior doing the same thing, but I was doing it the hard way. I was going to the websites and going through a catalog of all the songs that they had. And that's when I got bored, and I'm like, I'm gonna have Josh do this. And sure enough, Josh went at it. He found, and that's why he's my first guest, is because Josh found what works for him. And rather than him trying to figure out what's gonna fit in our video, he went and he saw what worked for other people and what didn't work for other people, and he owned it. He made this job his, and it was a complete success, man. I mean, everything he downloaded everything from the sad songs, the scary songs, and some of the happy songs, right? Which I'm not gonna speak for him. I'm gonna let him speak on that. But what were one of the most frustrating parts about finding the party song and the happy song so that we could use for this video, Josh?
Like I said, like none of them really like
Yeah.
are like anything a teenager would listen
Exactly. Yeah. Poor Josh was just frustrated, just sitting there, and he was like, Mr. Garcia, we don't listen to this type of music. Like, he could not figure out. So I broke down the project into introduction, classroom visits, the party scene where the teenagers would be sitting there drinking, and then right before they get into the car, I also asked them, the car ride should have a different song from the party scene, and then the sad song, the hospital songs, and then the court songs. So I broke it down into parts, and Josh was just stuck on that teenage part, the party scene. There was just nothing for him to find, right? It was just so difficult.
Tough.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. But so Josh spent about how many, 2-3 weeks? What do you think?
Yeah, like 2.
Yeah, 3 weeks of just looking for the right songs. And, after 40 songs, I said, and 40 sounds and sound effects, I said, okay, Josh, I think you've done enough. Let's let you rest. And, so he got about 2 days rest before I threw him in another group. Talk to me about that second group that I threw you in, Josh.
The day of the?
Yeah.
Honestly thought it was going to be, I didn't know what to expect exactly, but like I knew I was a little confused about the sound box.
Yeah.
I was going to be confused. I thought I was going to be confused with the miking and all that.
Yeah.
And then when we got there and it ended up crashing, I was just like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. So I wanted to get his perspective of how it went down. So first of all, Josh was going to be in charge of the sound effects board. So I have an iPad here in front of me, and Josh was going to be in charge of what you're about to hear right now. Josh, I've got the soundboard up. Go ahead and play what you were supposed to be in charge of. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right.
Go to the next one.
911, what's your emergency?
There's been an accident out. We need help, please. I don't know what's going on. Help.
Okay, where are you located, ma'am?
We're outside of Los Altos High School. Okay. My friend, I don't think he's breathing. I think we need an ambulance. I really don't know what's going on.
You need to calm down so I can get some information from you. You're at Los Altos High School in
Yes.
Hacienda Heights.
Yes.
Okay.
We're right outside. We just crashed on the street, and I don't.
How many cars are involved, ma'am?
There's someone on the roof on the There's someone outside of the car. I don't think he's breathing.
Okay, how many people does it look like they're hurt?
It was just me and two of my friends were in this car. I don't know who's in the other one.
Okay, ma'am, just go ahead and try and relax as best as you can. I have help on the way. I have paramedics and police on the way, ma'am. Okay, they'll be there shortly.
Because I don't think he's breathing, and I think we need help right now.
They're right around the corner. They should be there shortly, ma'am.
Okay,
thank you.
And those were the sound effects brought to you by Josh, JJ. So what you heard first was the tire screech, the car crash, and crash metal sound effects. And then after was a 911 call. So I had Josh practicing for 2 days, how that was going to go down. And that itself was... Well, let me have you speak on that. So how did you feel knowing that you were going to be in charge of all the sound effects and the 911 call that people were going to hear out on the crash site?
I was really confident, to be honest, until like I see all the students come out, and then I realized like how much I have in front of me.
Yeah, it was only 4 buttons that he was going to push. And I mean, we never really know, and we don't know how to prepare until we're out there in front of them, right? Until they start to line up, and then we start to see everybody there, and now everybody's just looking around, guessing what's going to happen here. And then, all right, Josh, here you go. 3, 2, 1, you're up, Josh. And Josh was going to be the first one to set it off. So Josh was going to be the first production student to get this show started. And I'm going to honestly say everything went good. There was a little mistake, but that mistake was on my fault. I visually, with my eyes, I told Josh, hit the 911 call. And unfortunately, it was about a minute early. We wanted to let the crash develop a little bit more, but I panicked. And when I didn't hear Josh hit the 911 call, I looked over at him. We made eye contact, and then he hit that 911 call. Luckily for us, the principal was right next to him, and the principal just shut it down. He was like, nope, not yet. So we had to stop the 911 call, but that was on me. I'm here to publicly announce that was not Josh. That I'd like to apologize to Josh and say like that was on me. But so we jumped ahead a little bit. So let's talk about when we were setting up. So we were up there the day before the event. I gave Josh the task of miking up the first responders on site. So he was going to mic up the paramedics, the fire captain, the arresting officer, and the drunk driver. And the night before, I was here late, up to 8 p.m., just testing the microphones, fidgeting with the microphones, changing the batteries, just getting everything ready. And wouldn't you know that right when we're up there setting up, nothing works. I mean, nothing worked, man. And throughout this whole process, I've been setting up my students for this moment. Like, guys, you're going to hear me blow up. You're going to hear me yell. You're going to see me throw something at someone. And I'm just going to not handle the pressure properly, but it's allowed because it's a production. So you're going to see that. I told everybody, don't freak out. That's just me just letting some anger out, just venting real quick. And that was the moment for Josh. Josh got a chance to see me just like panic. I was sweating everywhere. All of our equipment was full of my sweat. I was just panicking. It was out in the hot sun. But luckily for us, our great principal, Mr. Hess, was right beside Josh. And what happened, Josh? What did Mr. Hess do for us?
He kind of he just saved us, to be honest.
Oof, man, did he ever. He took over, man. But without even asking, he went to go get the extra microphones. He had some microphones here and there just lying around, and that dude put everything together. I mean, oh my God, did he save us? And then, he also went about training you, Josh, right? He trained you to do what, Josh? The audio board, right?
Audio board, yeah.
Yeah. So now Josh is now sitting in front of a different audio board, and this is all brand new to him. You know, again, I threw Josh on this task 2 days before the event. So now Josh is panicking because he's got a sound effects board in front of him, and he sees all these students around, and then he's got a new audio board in front of him. And Josh, I'm gonna be honest, man, you handled it like a champ, dude. You did very well, man. accept that mistake, but that was on me. I just want to put it out there once again. I don't want anybody to criticize Josh. That was on me. But man, I truly appreciate it. And the reason I wanted to have you on here, Josh, is because I wanted to hear your thoughts on what the event was like for you from your perspective, working it. And how did the video come out? What were your thoughts of the video during the assembly? And most importantly, what did you learn about yourself? All right, so let's break that down. So first of all, what was your experience like on the every 15 minutes the day of the production?
The day of it was cool. We got here at like 7:30 a.m. Everyone, there was just a group of students in here. It was like such a random group of students.
Yeah.
And like around like 9, I think, we went out to go set everything up.
Yeah.
And then
by 9:40, everything did not work. Mm-hmm. And then by 10 o'clock, Mr. Hess stepped in. All right, keep going.
So we had to change everything up. And then what was the second question?
So the video, once, and for those of you guys that don't know, with the every 15-minute program, the crash site happens on day 1, Thursday. And then the following day, Friday, we have a 12-hour period to shoot and edit a video that's going to be released for the juniors and seniors that attended that crash site. So now the juniors and seniors are going to view what we edited in 12 hours. So how was that like for you, seeing us edit, seeing us go through this panic mode and seeing the final edited project up on the screen? What did you think?
The final video, for what we had, we did what we could, but like we got the hospital taken away from us.
Yeah.
The courtroom. And we just did what we could. Like,
yeah,
it definitely could have been better if we had those other scenes.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So
we produced with what we had.
What Josh is talking about right there is originally all in one day, a court is supposed to be reserved for us, and we're supposed to take our drunk driver to the court and where they're supposed to be judged. And then we're supposed to take one of the dead body or accident bodies to the hospital where they're supposed to be worked on and either pronounced paralyzed or pronounced dead on arrival. And then we were supposed to have a chaplain go to the parents' houses and jobs and say, hey, Mr. Garcia, your son or daughter just passed away in a car-related accident, drunk driving accident. And then we're supposed to get that emotion, that dramatic feel from it. And all of that got taken away from us. All of that, either the judge wasn't available, a courtroom was available, a hospital was super busy. So we put together a video, not really what we intended it, but like Josh said, under the circumstances, I think we did a great job. All right. And now, Josh, the final question for you, my friend. What did you learn about yourself?
I learned that I could definitely like do any job that like is put in front of me. Like, if you give it to me, I'll probably find a way to do it.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted you to be my first guest, because as you might think that you watching those YouTube videos was kind of a hack or, a cheat code. But I see that's you thinking, 3 steps ahead of me. Like I said, I didn't even think about that. Like, wow, damn, why didn't I? And that's one of the lessons I always give. Like, look at the previous work of what you guys are working on and get inspired. And I was just so wrapped up in what I was doing that when I handed it off to you and I saw you doing that, man, I was just so happy that you did that, man. And after that, I started telling people, hey, do what Josh is doing. If you're in charge of video, go do your research. I started pointing everybody your way because you were money, dude. You were money on the spot. So yeah, I agree with you, Josh. You can do anything that's set before you. The research itself, you did it. The hard work, the manual labor, you did it. Getting thrown in a new field. With a new audio board in front of you, in front of people, when it's game time, you were the money making quarterback that day, dude. You were Mahomes on the money, dude. I want to thank you. I really appreciate your effort. I want to thank you for being a guest, and I also want to just again, focus on the fact that I picked you for a reason, man. I picked Video Production 2 and 3 students for a reason, and I'm very proud of you. I hope that I made you proud with that video, with what we were able to do. And just know that this moment is just a small moment. You could grow from here. you could definitely grow from here. No matter where you're at, you know, wherever they place you, you're going to be a vital asset to that company. So thank you very much, Josh.
Thank you.
And thank you for being our first guest here at the Conqueror Rundown, the podcast. Once again, you're laying the groundwork for other people, man. So thank you very much. That's it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is just a podcast just so that we decompress from previous productions, just to have something archived so that we could build on. And our next guest tomorrow will be the great and powerful Ozzy Garcia. Thank you very much, and we'll see you around the bend.